Tolkien Society to feature paper titled J.R.R. Tolkien, Culture Warrior, the alt-right religious crusades appropriation of Tolkien at Oxenmoot 2022. Remember in my last video when I said, accuse your opponent of what you're actually doing? Well, this is a bit of a follow-up. Hot off their Summer Seminar 2021, where they put the focus on Tolkien and diversity. And how could we forget? Where there was a call for papers on things like representation in Tolkien's works, race, gender, sexuality, disability, class, religion, age, etc. Papers and abstracts like Gondor in Transition, a brief introduction to transgender realities in The Lord of the Rings.
With all due respect, what the f***?
Using Gondor as a basis for a closer examination, this paper outlines the presence and function of transgender realities within Tolkien's work in ways the privileged reading of the text ignores or dismisses.
Look, what the f*** is this?
Or The Invisible Other, Tolkien's dwarf women and the feminine lack.
What the f*** is this?
Or my personal favorite, Pardoning Saruman, the queer in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings.
Here we go.
Nerderotic.com.
We'll get to my feelings on the Tolkien Society's 2022 seminar's focus in just a moment, but keeping that in mind, let's take a look at the new teaser trailer that Amazon released yesterday. It's a teaser for another trailer, yet they decided to hide it on Amazon Prime because obviously they fear the ratio on YouTube. So let's take a look at a fiery ball flying over diversity.
The skies are strange.
Oh, look, it's Black Bilbo. That's Lenny Henry's Sadoc Burrows, a Harfoot, which we can't confuse with Hobbit, which I'm sure has nothing to do with rights issues. This is the first thing Amazon decides to show us once again, an original character who was not mentioned ever in Tolkien's writings, who, according to Lenny Henry himself, is there to take up space. Some recycled footage of High King Gil-galad, the one character who should be all over this series but will probably be relegated to the background, and he's also the one character who actually looks like an elf. Oh, wow, this looks bad. Amazon acquired the rights to this series back in November of 2017. And after all of those years and billions of dollars, this is what we've got. A bad green screen and generic video game trailer music. Before I go on, I'm going to tell you what my biggest issue with this show is right now. It's with Galadriel. I have no problem with this show centering around her. I expected that, but I also expected it to be Tolkien's Galadriel, not some modernized, idealized, current year Amazon version of Warrior Galadriel, which is essentially a dude.
Are you sure about that?
And here we have Prince Durin IV, which looks like a dwarf, and Nick Rekieta, who is married to Disa, another original character who doesn't show up anywhere in Tolkien's work. Now this looks pretty good. And this looks like crap. Short-haired elves, 3D printed helmets in front of an obvious green screen. Now, I love What a Workshop and everything they do. They probably didn't work on anything in this scene. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. By Eru Iluvatar's Fade, it's Guess Who's Coming to Second Breakfast. Once again, two original characters who, once again, don't show up in any of Tolkien's writings. As the shills are out there trying to pick apart Peter Jackson's trilogy right now to justify their shillery, let's take a good look at this image. After almost 5 years and $1 billion, they still can't make it look as good as Peter Jackson's films. Oh, no, you didn't. We have a new character, which is indeed from Tolkien's Legendarium, except there's a bit of a problem. This is Tar Miriel, who is the Queen Regent of Numenor. We were told they were going to play it fast and loose with the canon, so for the normies, I will keep this as simple as possible. This show precedes the forging of the Rings of Power, which starts in the year 1500 of the Third Age, an age that lasts roughly 3,400 years. Tar Miriel, the Queen Regent of Numenor in this show anyway, wouldn't be born for roughly another 1,600 years, but they're playing it fast and loose with the canon. In this one, she ends up teaming up with warrior Galadriel, who never went to Numenor in the books, to go hunt some orcs.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, look, ants. Maybe we'll find out what happened to the female ants. Oh, there I go again, obsessing about gender norms. And we end on another original character, female Frodo, Nori Brandyfoot. By the way, the flaming thing that went by all that diversity that everybody's watching is indeed a Maiar, or a wizard. Which one? Your guess is as good as mine. Would I put it past these showrunners that I like to call hacks to make it Gandalf? No. Once again, after all this time, we have only a couple of teaser trailers, but this one was a teaser for a trailer to be released on July 14th, which of course I will cover. And what of these trailers told us about the story? Well, it's gonna be really diverse. And they're gunning for the normies on this one, but there's a big problem with that. It doesn't look anything like Peter Jackson's trilogy, and that's gonna confuse the hell out of them, so they need the hardcore fans, and they've been busy calling us bigots. This brings us back to the Bounding in the Comics article by my good friend John F. Trent, Tolkien Society, to feature paper titled J.R.R. Tolkien, Culture Warrior, the Alt-Right Religious Crusades Appropriation of Tolkien at Oxenmoot 2022, the appropriation of the devout Roman Catholic Tolkien. Hot off their summer seminar in 2021, where they put a focus on Tolkien and diversity, which we went over, the Tolkien Society, for which I'm a member, will now feature a paper at their upcoming Oxenmoot event claiming that there is an alt-right religious crusade to appropriate J.R.R. Tolkien. I think a far more appropriate and accurate title of this paper should be J.R.R. Tolkien versus Social Justice Warriors, the woke intersectional vandalization of Tolkien. My general thesis is right here in this playlist. Oh, look, the event is being held September 1st, not so coincidentally, the day before the anniversary of Professor Tolkien's death and the premiere of The Rings of Prime. As a part of the event's programming, the Tolkien Society revealed that they will feature a talk or a paper by Robin Reed, a professor at Texas A&M University Commerce. That's embarrassing. Titled J.R.R. Tolkien, Culture Warrior, the Alt-Right Religious Crusades Appropriation of Tolkien. Mind you, this is a professor teaching America's youth to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. America, your kids are being taught by retards, drooling simpletons. Get them out of the universities. Get them out of the public schools if you love your children. I digress. While it's unclear what the actual contents of the paper or talk actually are, the title makes it very clear. It appears to be a political piece and will more than likely highlight Robin Reed's political views rather than any kind of actual discussion about Tolkien. Just want to check in on the definition of appropriation. Appropriation. The action of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission. So I'll ask you, dear viewer, since you are 100% smarter and 100% more sane than the average raving lunatic who is a professor at university right now, who's actually appropriating Tolkien and all of our beloved franchises? Is it the fans who just want a good story, or is it the activists who can't tell one? Let's keep in mind, nowadays, good customer service, good storytelling, wanting somebody to respect the lore are all tools of the alt-right.
I see white people.
As I've stated before, this is simply an act of desperation by Amazon to cover up a giant turd, but somehow they've gotten the commie academics to simp for a giant corporation. That's hilarious. That's why it's no coincidence Amazon came out of the gate attacking the fans, only to be interrupted by Disney Star Wars blowing the dust off of their fan attack manual with the Moses Ingram debacle, followed by one of the most lazy attacks I've ever seen, a Salon article going after the fandom menace.
I was there
3,000 years ago.
which plagiarizes the Rewriting Ripley article that went after yours truly and some friends of mine a year and a half ago. Let's all stop ignoring the fandom menace. It's real and it's winning. 2018 is calling and they want their articles back. And I'm sure there will be plenty of recycled toxic fandom articles and videos from the shills prior to this ridiculous paper. Hell, we even have books like this, Tolkien, Race and Racism in Middle-earth. This book represents an analysis of Tolkien's works for concepts of race, both racist and anti-racist. It begins by demonstrating that Tolkien was a racialist, in that his mythology is established on the basis of different races with different characteristics, and then poses the key question, was Tolkien a racist?
No.
Okay.
No.
Fact of the matter is, that pendulum is swinging, and the shills and the quackademics notice, so let them both quack away. Again, the fan attacks will increase by orders of magnitude prior to the release of this giant train hauling dumpster fires headed for an inevitable wreck. The one thing that Trash Salon article got right is we are winning, and we will win in the end, although there's probably not much we can do about this series. We'll have a smile on our face, we'll have our heads held high, we'll have a song in our heart, and we will mock all of this insanity into oblivion. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.